Hello, everybody. Welcome to Crackers and Milk. This is your host, David, joined by Jake and Ryan once again.
Howdy.
Checking in.
Hey, I didn't mess up this time.
Hey, good job.
I'm getting a little bit better.
I probably couldn't do it.
I bet you could.
Nah.
You just haven't. I've been a ball hog. Been a ball hog,
You
a
can
voice
have
hog.
Keep it.
Oh, sure. Today's episode, we are talking about He-Man.
Oh,
Masters of the Universe.
The film being called Masters of the Universe, 1987. August 7th, 1987.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have the synopsis for us, Jacob?
All right. When the evil Skeletor, played by Frank Langella, finds a mysterious power called the Cosmic Key, he becomes nearly invincible. However, courageous warrior He-Man, played by Dolph Lundgren, locates inventor Gildor, played by Billy Barty, who created the key and has another version of it. During a battle, one of the keys is transported to Earth, where it is found by teenagers Julie, played by young Courtney Cox,
Very young.
and Kevin, played by Robert Duncan McNeil. Now both He-Man and Skeletor forces arrive on Earth, searching for the potent weapon.
Okay.
Potent weapon.
Yes.
So competition. So in July, RoboCop came out. Okay, these are the ones that I recognize, right? RoboCop, La Bamba, and Lost Boys in July, right? So
Okay.
then in August of 87, Masters of the Universe, so He-Man. Okay, I don't know this one. Nadine? Stakeout. Can't Buy Me Love. That came out on the 14th. Monster Squad. Bored in East LA. Dirty Dancing. Right?
Okay.
And then in September, Fatal Attraction, The Pickup Artist, and The Big Town. That's all I recognized for August or September. Now, here's the top 10 of that year. You have Beverly Hills Cops 2, Platoon, Fatal Attraction, The Untouchables, Three Men and a Baby, The Secret to My Success, Stakeout, Lethal Weapon, The Witches of Eastwick, and then Predator.
Okay.
And the range of money that it came from is Beverly Hills Cop 2 came at $154 million, and Predator came in at like $50 million. It's not bad, but the He-Man, the budget was $22 million, and the box office was $17.3 million. It's like, what? And then the director is Gary Goddard. And he did like 3 shorts and like a Jurassic Park ride pre-show from what I saw that he did before.
Okay.
And then, like Jake said, the stars, Dolph Lundgren, Frank Langella, whatever, Courtney Cox, James Talkin, Christina Pickles, Meg Foster, Robert Duncan, McNeil. Okay, this McNeil guy, the love interest of Courtney Cox, is he in anything else?
Yeah, let me look.
I don't remember him at all in any movie I've seen.
I think I remember seeing something.
He was in Star Trek Voyager.
Yeah.
Is that with...
Isn't he Kirk's son?
Oh.
I don't think so.
Maybe not.
That's a movie, right? That's the movie.
No, the TV show.
The TV show.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm way off.
Yeah, you're way...
Voyager.
Captain Janeway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you guys didn't watch it.
No.
I know Captain Janeway.
I never watched it. And then...
Man or a woman?
The gruffest voice. That's a woman.
Yeah, okay.
She has the gruffest voice out of all the captains.
Yes.
And then the music was by Bill Conti. He did The Rockies, Bad Boys, Karate Kid, Necessary Roughness, American Gladiators. So he did an okay job.
Yeah.
A lot of Universal Studios people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't this a Universal Studios?
Yeah, but a lot of people throughout making the movie that you're naming off here, they all did a lot of stuff.
At Universal?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's true because you have Jurassic Park. That was Universal,
Well,
right?
the director also did Terminator 2 3D, I think part of the ride.
Oh, he
The
did?
film, yeah, the video part of the ride.
Oh.
The experience that wasn't a ride.
Right, yeah. Yeah, sorry.
I wanted to say when you were saying Dolph Lundgren, Ivan Drago.
Yeah.
That's all I was thinking about. That's Ivan Drago. Isn't that his last name in Rocky 4? Ivan Drago. Okay.
I was able to separate it.
Yeah. I would say they chose him as the right.
Who else?
Yeah. Who else was blonde? Huge. Like you had
Arnie.
Arnold
Schwarzenegger.
I don't think Arnold wasn't as long or tall.
No.
And it seemed like Dolph was the right height.
Yeah.
You could believe him.
Yeah.
You believe him as He-Man.
So if you look at it as a sequel to the cartoon, it fails miserably.
Oh, it does?
But as a standalone movie, it's pretty good.
Okay.
Oh, I loved it growing up. Loved
The
this movie.
cartoon or the movie?
Well, both.
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely, but as you know, watching it nowadays, I can watch it, but I don't know if I could watch it.
It's
and over.
very 80s.
That was one of the questions that I thought of is, okay, did this movie help your nostalgia or did it kind of hinder your nostalgia for He-Man as an adult now than when you were,
No, because it didn't really do. I mean, my nostalgia was fine with the movie. It's the cartoon that let me down.
Okay. Well, did you built the cartoon up so high in your head, right?
Yes.
And that's why it let you down.
Oh,
because you were.
It was on Netflix, and I was like, oh, I loved this show when I was a kid, and I watched it, and I watched the first episode, and this is terrible. How did I like this? I ruined my nostalgia. But so, yeah. About when I was a teen, I started looking at it as the movie as its own thing and not connected to the cartoon.
Well, what about you, Ryan?
Wow. I don't know.
Like, did it help your nostalgia for the cartoon? Did it help your nostalgia at all for He-Man? Like, did it hinder it or help it?
Back then? Or as
Now,
an adult?
now as an adult.
I mean, it helps.
It does?
Yeah, just, I don't know. Snarf's not in it, which is unfortunate.
No. It's not Snarf. It's the guy with the O on his chest. What's his name? Ortho or something.
Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of things that kind of go into the cartoon, but then there's a lot of things that don't.
Yeah.
So I thought it was fun though. It was a fun movie.
Yeah.
I mean and just growing up playing He-Man all the time, and She-Ra Princess of Power, and who wasn't really in the movie.
No, she wasn't.
What are you gonna do? They were supposed to make
another
movies,
one,
so.
of course.
Yeah.
Well, so I was never into. I may have been into He-Man when I was really, really young, maybe 4 or 5 or 6. I don't know. And then I never got into him. So watching this, I never watched this movie before. Watching it was interesting, very interesting. Like you said, it was very 80s, very, very 80s.
Oh, so 80s.
and but there were some the one thing that I was surprised was they got the principal from Back to the Future into it.
Yep.
And
Same role.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is a little weird.
Typecasting. Poor guy.
But he was good. And then seeing Courtney Cox, I was like, what? This is a little interesting.
I knew that because
Yeah.
I've owned a DVD copy for many years now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I have it on my DVR. And
Oh, yeah?
yeah, I love Billy Barty.
Billy
Yeah.
Did I
Bart?
say that wrong? Billy Barty.
Who's that?
The little
The Wizard.
Oh,
yeah,
the wizard.
little
Okay.
wizard
The
guy.
one that does the...
Yeah, and he's in a bunch of other movies, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's his voice or his acting. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just kind of enjoy him in movies, and the one thing that I did have a problem is I thought Skeletor was way overacted.
Yeah. Frank Langella?
Yeah.
Whatever his name is.
And
Yeah.
I feel
He's a good actor.
Yeah, I feel he's usually
Very
pretty
good actor.
Yeah.
I loved him in Nixon and Frost.
Yeah.
I
But
think
that's
the whole movie was somewhat overacted.
Meh.
So
Can Dolph Lundgren overact?
I think, okay, so the sword
What I'm getting
scene,
at is, does he even act?
I think
no,
the
he was
sword
acting.
scene-
Yeah.
Could you not feel the power when he said "by the power of grade school"?
Well,
I have the power.
I thought the sword scene, the fighting scene with
Skeletor.
Skeletor was like, oh, hey, he's going to go this way, he's going to go this way, he's going to go this way, he's going
Very
to go this way.
choreographed.
Very.
Compare that to the first Star Wars movie, and which sword fight is better?
Oh, this one is. Because, like, all I remember of Obi-Wan Kenobi was he just always going around in a circle. You
Yeah.
know, like from what
So,
I remember of
that's his
seeing
blocking
that one.
technique.
Yeah, it's like, ooh, ooh.
Yes, they should have done better choreography for the fight scenes, but come on, it was the 80s, guys.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel that this movie was thrown together pretty
Really?
quick. Pretty quick.
Yeah,
think so?
I can feel
But I
that.
still like it.
What did, like, how long did the TV series go for? Was it like 3 or 4 seasons?
Yeah. Yeah, because I think back then, TV series were multiple episodes, not just like 10 episodes.
Oh,
2 seasons,
yeah.
130 episodes.
Right. See?
Oh,
So
wow,
isn't that
that's
crazy?
a lot
Like
of
now you get
episodes.
like out of Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad, you get like 10.
Yeah,
Or that Walking Dead series, it's like maybe 15.
yeah.
And it's like, what? But now, back then,
getting
a
a
series used to go
ton.
forever.
Yeah.
Like Jake said, two years,
And
2
100,
seasons, right?
100, how many?
130.
30?
It's a lot of cartoons to draw.
That's wow, man, that's a lot.
Yeah.
For 2 seasons?
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow.
Well, even like MASH,
Yeah,
those shows back then, like
but that went for like 11 seasons.
But their seasons were,
Yeah.
they also had a few
Long.
episodes, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so one question I have with you guys. The feel of old time, like back in Castle and all that stuff, with the swords and all that stuff, and then the connection with sci-fi. Was that in the comic?
That was in the cartoon.
With
Yeah.
the laser guns
Yeah.
and all that stuff, and
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
I was a little
bit.
taken aback by that. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's a little interesting combo.
They didn't
It-
venture too far off.
It was a space fantasy. So
Oh,
they had their technology, but he becomes the barbaric hero of the past for the future.
Beautiful.
what? He becomes the barbaric
So
hero of the past to the future.
the sorceress,
yeah.
the
The lady in white?
yeah,
Okay.
she picks Prince Adam to be the new champion to fight the new evil. He was the hero of the past of Eternia.
Okay.
He just takes on the mantle of He-Man.
Okay.
He-Man's the hero.
Well, yeah, I get He-Man's the hero. I was just
No matter
kinda-
who it is,
It's just He-Man.
He-Man
Oh,
is the
so
master of the universe.
it's more of a, like you said, a title.
Yeah, the mantle.
Of the mantle
He-Man.
of He-Man. But,
He-
like,
Man.
you two could be He-Man.
Yeah.
If I went to Eternia,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
sorceress chose me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
You're the champion for the folk of Eternia.
Yeah. No, I was just wondering, like, if
You could, Dave.
You could.
Sure.
I think you would.
No, I think you guys.
Yeah, the
would.
sorceress
No.
would pick you. Of the three of us.
Yeah.
Oh,
Blonde
hey.
hair and all.
Yeah.
No, It's like dirty.
Let's hear you say it.
What?
I have the power.
I have the power.
Ah,
I
sad.
can't
Do it.
So
Come on.
can't do it, man. I
I have the power. Come on. It's not that hard.
That's a good one, though.
Oh, yeah?
That's good, dude. You'll be out. You'll do that.
Oh, man.
Because you got the power.
For shizzle.
That was pretty good, Ryan.
I could voice
was
dub
good.
it for you
Yeah.
while you're up there.
Yes. Just have recording in my bag.
Yep.
Okay, so I always thought of the guys in black as stormtroopers.
Oh,
They
they
missed
still were.
everything. Yeah, they missed everything and they got shot. You know what I mean?
They so were. Like, there's so many Star Wars ripoffs through the 80s.
Slightly, yeah. That's pretty funny.
Because Return of the Jedi came out in like 89, right?
Mm-hmm.
This came out in 87. Then Empire Strikes Back came out in like, what did that came out? When did that came out? Like
84, 85, something like that.
Okay.
One thing I want to go over is how
Yes.
great were the names of some of the bad guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about that, man.
The best one is Evil Lynn.
Yes.
Evelyn?
Evil Lynn.
Evelyn?
Evelyn. Evelyn.
Evelyn.
Evelyn.
So it's EVIL in
Yeah.
Evelyn?
No, it's
No.
EVIL
Evil.
hyphen
Lynn.
LYN.
Oh,
Brilliant, right?
Yeah.
And then you have Beast Man. Is that right?
Yeah. He was
He's from
the cartoon. He's the only one I recognize from the
Yeah.
cartoon.
right.
and he was the one that had like the messed up face and
I tell you,
white hair, right?
this
No.
No?
no.
No?
When you first went through all the movies around this time,
Yeah.
it brought back like my nightmares.
Oh, really?
And some of these, yeah, like
What do you mean?
Predator, and,
Oh, okay.
what's the other movies in there?
RoboCop. And
RoboCop kind of, there's a scene in RoboCop where a guy gets ran over, and that haunted me for decades. Because he just got out of the I don't know if you've seen it, but
yeah.
he just got like toxic
Oh,
waste
yeah.
on him, and he's I don't know, it just ruined me.
Oh, yeah. It's there was so much violence in RoboCop. If you've seen the
At
original,
the time.
No,
Still?
the scene of him getting shot as a normal human,
Oh, really?
that's pretty
It
bad.
would hold up to what they do today.
It ruined me.
I mean, you can obviously tell it's like a puppet, but it's still
pretty graphic.
very graphic.
Yeah. Okay.
And well, not to stray from He-Man, but it's just the whole them like laughing at they're shooting him, and then they're I don't know.
They blow his arm off.
Yeah, it's pretty. And that's the 80s.
Yeah.
And it really,
Yeah.
that's what it is. And just kind of get back to He-Man. I mean, these evil characters, these bad guys.
Yeah.
You'd normally see one or two in the cartoon series,
Yeah.
and they kind of jumbled them all together into one movie.
Yeah.
And they, growing up, it was a little intense.
Yeah.
I was pretty young when this movie came out, and
Uh-huh.
intense as far as like coming from the cartoon
Uh-huh.
into live action.
Yeah.
It's a little more real to someone that's 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, I was mad that Trapjaw wasn't in it, but
yeah, there's a few characters they could have chose.
yeah, they I want to say most of those henchmen
Yeah.
were made up for the movie,
Made up.
like
Sauron.
Blade.
Sarod.
Yeah, Sauron.
Like-
Yeah.
He was the guy with the messed up face who was long white hair
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
with
I-
the hook.
Well, I felt that the bad guys
Yeah.
were actually pretty decent.
They
bad
were.
guys for like how many there were. There
Yeah.
normally you have a couple of them that would just die off pretty quick, but these are all pretty hardcore bad guys.
Yeah.
I feel when they're searching, they come to the school, and then they go to the storage area.
Yeah, the junkyard
Yeah,
place.
right, and
Yeah.
they're they're all pretty formidable adversaries to He-Man
Yeah.
until he gets the power of the Grayskull.
Like what you said, the comment of you feel it thrown together, right? You felt it was thrown together. They put this in August. They put it out in August, right?
Mm-hmm.
Usually, from what I've noticed with movies, when you throw it into August, it's usually like, okay, this movie is not good enough to go against anything in the summer. It's just not good enough. So it's kind of like, okay, we're going to put it in August because everybody's kind of movied out. I don't know. I'm just asking.
I totally agree.
Like, do you think that
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's plausible.
I agree.
Because if you look at it, so out of the top 10 in this competition of Master in the Universe, you have Fatal Attraction that came out in September, so that would have been kind of close to the release of Masters of the Universe. And then you have Stakeout that came out really close to Masters of the Universe.
Funny movie.
And then you have Dirty Dancing coming out where it wasn't in the top 10, but that's like a really big cult following with Dirty Dancing and that sort of thing.
Well,
so
lots
I'm
of
just
people had the
wondering-
time of their lives.
I just watched a documentary on Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart or Patrick
Did I say that wrong? Patrick
Swayze.
Swayze. Yeah.
Heavens. Swayze, and pretty interesting life. But I now that I'm an adult,
Yeah.
I pay more attention to this kind of stuff as far as the hype about movies.
Yeah.
And I just don't really recall knowing, back you're young, you don't really pay attention to the hype.
Yeah.
You see commercials, but I mean, how was the hype for movies like Fatal Attraction and advertising and reviews? I mean, it seems like nowadays it's more things aren't much of a surprise anymore.
No.
As far as a movie being good.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean not much of a surprise? Like a movie hitting you like that out of nowhere?
Well, I think
or
like
what?
like Dirty Dancing.
Yeah.
Was that people talking about that like it was going to be some big hit?
True.
Fatal Attraction.
True.
I mean, it had some star power.
Yeah.
But I mean, how much hype did it have?
Yeah.
Going into the
And I wonder if it
box
was
office?
more word of mouth with Fatal Attraction and
Right.
all those
and Dirty Dancing.
and Dirty Dancing, because I can understand Beverly Hills Cops 2 being big
For sure.
and them advertising a lot because of Beverly Hills Cops 1 and then Eddie Murphy, him being a great comedian,
Well, and
that sort of thing.
And back then, you had a lot of original stories too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And nowadays, everything's kind of getting rehashed a little bit. There's a few stories that are pretty good. A Quiet Place.
Yeah.
It's pretty original, but you see a lot of remakes, a lot of adaptations.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And that begs the question with this. Okay, with Masters of the Universe, this is one that it wasn't original. It was borrowed, and it was used from the comic to now. There's this theory in English where there's two ways of thinking of it, where there's still things to be discovered, still things to be written, or everything's rehashed. Like everything, there's nothing really original. Everything's derivative of something. You know what I mean? Like Rocky. Rocky is somewhat supposedly being original, but Rocky got his inspiration from a real fighter who fought Muhammad Ali.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like it is an original, but at the same time, you look at Creed. You could just say, oh, that's just Muhammad Ali, but somebody acting like Muhammad Ali, arrogant, and like saying, "Well, I'm the best," and all this stuff. So it's interesting that way. I don't know. I kind of.
And who knows?
I don't
Back
know.
then in the '80s, maybe that was being redone from, previous decades.
Yeah.
I don't know. A historian would know, obviously, but it just seems like there's a lot more original stuff back then.
Like 60s, 70s, 80s. And
Yeah.
When film started really.
Well, you could
taking
almost
off.
say He-Man is a rehash of Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah.
A little. Yeah, it would be a little bit right.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be interesting to find out if that movie came out before the TV series He-Man.
If-
Conan the Barbarian.
Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah.
It was
a
a
comic.
book. It was
too.
a book
okay.
back
Yeah.
in like the 30s.
Dude, I grew up watching that show with my dad. I loved Conan the Barbarian movie.
Yeah, it got a sequel.
Yeah, it sure did.
It did.
And I see why. I don't know. I liked it.
Yeah.
That's my kind of. So yeah, I grew up watching that and the Kung Fu Master Theater, and I don't know.
Yeah.
That's an insight of who I am. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
simple.
Is there, like, as you guys watched it, when you were watching it as an adult now, was there anything, like, super surprising about the movie when you rewatched it?
I've watched that movie a lot.
A lot as an adult, so there was nothing big.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Was
maybe-
anything brought back up when you watched it? Like, oh, I forgot about this, a little bit about it.
the chicken scene, eating the chicken.
Yeah.
How much they like the chicken.
Yeah. And then they realize it's an animal, and
You're right. Yeah.
they get all disgusted. But, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't think He-Man was a vegetarian.
It doesn't look like he is.
No.
Didn't
Power the vegan. What's that from? Scott Pilgrim?
he got his vegan card revoked.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's Superman, isn't it?
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Did it meet your guys' expectations?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It did.
Today?
Yeah.
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 I mean, you're just going in to have fun. It's a cartoon adaptation, and it's just a kind of a kids show. And yeah,
Okay.
I love the parade scene.
Oh yeah, where they like go down the main street.
Yeah, yeah. It just every time I see it, I'm like, is that a Disneyland parade or like a 4th of July parade? Or what's going on here?
Yeah.
I did, like, when I was talking to Jake about it, we talked, and he told me, he's like, hey, just watch until the end. And I watched until the end. I was like, oh, where he just, he's like, I'm going to be back. Did he say I'm going to be back?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah,
There's your lead in.
there's your lead in right
To part-
there for part
part
2.
two.
Do you think
Part 2.
they'd ever remake the cartoon?
They did.
Oh, they did?
2011.
Oh, wow. Then do you think they'll ever redo a He-Man movie?
Man,
That's...
you'd have to have someone high up in power who really likes He-Man.
Yeah.
In a movie theater, not theater, but Universal or Warner Brothers, an executive or something that really wants to remake a He-Man.
Would you say, so like, okay, so Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse,
Mm-hmm.
the animation of Sony, do you think that they would be able to do something like that where it's like an alternative universe, make the graphics really good, and make a animated He-Man movie? I understand that someone has to love it, but do you see in the future someone wanting to do that?
No.
Not anymore.
And I misspoke. They redid it in 2002.
He-Man
The cartoon.
The cartoon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just watched it in 2011. So
I don't think there's enough storyline really to do
Really?
something like that or
it's
following.
a very simple story. It was a cartoon to sell toys.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Hasbro.
So kind of like Transformers, where that cartoon was,
Man,
that was
you know,
more of that had more of a plot, right?
Yeah. There
Okay.
was there's a storyline in He-Man, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I
But-
just
You said it was very simplistic.
Well, the
Yeah.
original cartoon
Original.
was.
Right.
Yeah.
you
Go
mean-
watch it. You'll see what I mean.
It's very simply made. The animation,
Mhm.
very, very. I don't know. I don't want to say poor, but it's not
It's not
amazing.
great, yeah.
So if you saw stuff from the 80s that was coming out of Japan,
Yeah.
it looked like a high school project.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good.
I still like it.
I mean, I
nostalgically,
loved it.
Right.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
didn't matter to me then.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now,
nowadays is pretty tough to watch.
Oh my god,
139 episodes, whatever it was.
130 of them,
Ugh.
and I can't get past the first one.
I'm gonna have to at least try once. Just watching
Oh man.
it. All right. Yeah.
And if you think Frank Langella overacts, just the voice actors
Yeah.
of the cartoon.
You,
You'll never defeat Skeletor.
that's what makes it so good as a kid, though, is those kind of voices. And
Yeah,
you
definitely.
kind of have to do that as a voice actor. I mean, you're not making any faces or anything, but
No, like the power is in your voice.
Yeah.
It has to be.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it was with Voltron and all those other
Well,
cartoons. back
even look
then.
at Voltron compared to He-Man. Voltron was so much better
Yeah,
animation.
It was.
Oh,
The
they-
animation was great.
Because that was coming out of Japan.
Yeah.
I can maybe compare it to maybe G.I. Joe. I don't know. G.I. Joe's animation was not that great.
It wasn't that great, but it was better than the He-Man
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh wow. So it was.
Did you watch cartoons back in the day?
I did. I don't
Man.
remember. Like I had a birthday party.
Smurfs only.
No, I had a birthday party, and we had a gray skull like a castle in the back. So I'm like, oh, I must have liked He-Man at one point, and that's all I remember. But like I watched like
Either you or one of your brothers did, and they just redid your birthday like that.
no, it was mine. It was Mike was
I know it was
really
your
young. Yeah,
That's funny.
it was like, and I did watch cartoons. It was just different ones. Like I think I watched Gummy Bears.
That was
The
later.
Bears ones. See, that's what I remember.
Fraggle Rock.
No, I never watched
That was in a
that.
cartoon.
Down a flag or look.
No, maybe Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
And then I watched a lot of pro wrestling on Saturday.
Yeah.
I loved pro wrestling, but my dad always said it's fake, and it's like, no, it's not, Dad. No, it's not. So I remember that.
Maybe that's
But
where you
like-
got the woo from.
Woo?
Woo.
No, that was Ric Flair, man.
Yeah, you.
You know, I don't. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't.
Hulk Hogan could have been
Yeah.
He-Man.
That's true.
Oh, he's bald though.
I
man.
bet you
he was bald.
thought about that.
Probably, but he was bald.
Let me tell you, brother Skeletor.
Balding.
Way balding at that time. 87.
Let me tell you, brother.
It's going to go down this way.
I'm so beautiful.
What'd you say?
Oh, you Hulkamaniacs. I mean, He-Man-maniacs. Skeletor's going down.
And then they could have got
Jeez.
Macho Man Randy Savage to play Skeletor.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been awesome.
Oh, yeah. Ultimate Warrior's going down.
Yeah, Ultimate Warrior could have been Beastman.
Slim Jim.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
Those wrestlers. I just love them.
Man, we are going off.
Way off.
Only if he was He-Man.
Well, but this is kind of a good what if. Like what if Hulk Hogan was He-Man? And
I
then
could see
if
that.
if they brought in other
Yeesh.
wrestlers, it would have been
Holy cow!
It would have been more. They would have made more money.
Yeah.
maybe.
Maybe. I mean,
Holy cow! I really want to see that now. I want to see that movie.
They could have
So
made
much more
money.
than the Masters of the Universe.
They could have made a little bit more money.
Jake the Snake Roberts could have been Man at Arms, and
Yeah, Rowdy Piper.
Roddy
Roddy
Piper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he did that. Did you guys ever watch that movie with the
yes.
sunglasses?
They Live.
They live.
Yes. That one, like,
I will watch that movie anytime, anywhere. I don't care what I'm doing.
yeah.
I'm stopping for that movie.
it is so funny.
I love that movie.
One of the best lines ever.
I'm here to chew bubble gum and kick ass.
And I'm all out of bubble gum. So good. And it's we're going off of He-Man.
Good 80s.
Good 80s. Yes, that's good 80s. They live.
And
yes,
not that
that's
He-Man, the Masters of the Universe movie, was bad 80s. It was just 80s. That
Do you think it was comparable to the cartoon?
No, like I said, if you look at it as its own.
No, I mean like because we talked about how bad the graphics were.
The animation.
The animation. Mm-hmm. That movie, do you think it was like, oh, yeah, a bad animation, semi kind of bad movie? Or no? I'm just wondering. Just asking.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
It was a product of its time, so the CGI is goofy.
It is goofy.
Yeah.
But it was good back then.
It was awesome back then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then my one complaint is they didn't have the villains I wanted as a kid in there. All they had was Beastman. He was the only one from the cartoon. Him and Skeletor and Evil Lyn.
Evelyn.
What other name was Beastmaster?
Beastman.
Beastman.
And then
Evil Lyn. What other one that was like weird that you wanted to talk about? Name wise.
Oh, there was
there
Blade. There
Blade?
was
Yeah.
So nothing super crazy besides those ones.
No, but just the
Evil Lyn.
costumes are great. And
Oh yeah.
And
that golden crown that Skeletor wore at the end to fight.
yeah.
It's like, how did he move that?
It was like
head?
a mix between like Thailand and like Aztecs. That I noticed that when I watched it recently. It was like,
Who designed this?
what?
We have to use it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I watching it as an adult, Skeletor's face is a joke,
Oh yeah.
and just him talking in it. Like, that had to have hurt wearing that
Yeah.
all the time. I don't know. It just looks rigid and
Yeah. That
something you'd buy from a Halloween costume store that's like $10, and it pokes into your nose. And
Yep.
it gives you a scar at the end of the night.
Yep. Yeah. I've worn a mask like that for Halloween. So
Yeah. You know the pain.
Yes.
yeah. Would I like to see a movie now done? I would probably choose animation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to see it.
I think it would only be good as animation, nothing else. I don't see live action.
I'd go live action.
You would?
I'd be cool with it, just to see the special effects. It wouldn't.
True.
It wouldn't be as quirky
Yeah.
as the '80s one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It would
So the
be-
detective wouldn't end up on Eternia with a chick with a rockin' 80s hairdo.
No, I don't think you'd see that. Because the way the way they try and do things, everybody tries to do a Michael Bay movie
Yeah.
where it's cool,
Mm-hmm.
and then you don't see the corny stuff anymore.
Yeah.
No.
But I get it. People. I don't know. The word these days is cringe,
Yeah. Yeah.
and people would rather not sit through a cringe movie,
Yeah.
a movie full of cringe moments.
Yeah.
I love it. So, give me another live action one. I'm good with it. Why not?
He's got me on his camp now. So
Why not?
I would go animation more, but if it has to be like, I don't know, it'd have to be like people that I want to see as He-Man.
Oh, yeah.
Like
It'd be an expensive.
John
movie.
Cena would be fun to see as He-Man.
I think
It would
he's.
just be funny.
I don't know. I think he's too wide.
yeah.
I think He-Man's more of a tall, buff
slender.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that.
Well,
Chris
if you had-
Hemsworth?
If you had the
Chris
toys,
Hemsworth.
they were all
yeah.
the same height.
yeah. You could get some short villains.
True.
I don't know how tall is John Cena. He's probably like 6'2". John Cena.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
He's pretty tall,
Yeah.
probably. Because Rock's like 6.
I don't know.
He's like 6'4", 6'5",
Maybe.
I think.
Big feller,
But I think John Cena's shorter than him, for sure.
probably.
Yeah.
Sylvester
remember-
Stallone?
Oh no, that dude's short.
No, I was going to say, who are you talking about?
No, John Cena.
Oh,
John Cena.
I thought you said
The Rock.
Rocky.
No. The Rock.
The Rock.
The Rock.
Oh yeah, the Rock's like 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah. John Cena's shorter than him. So I would say 5'10", 6
Maybe.
between. Oh. Yeah, I would be okay with either one, but animation, I think if they want to make money and have it serious, be serious, I would go animation. Mm-hmm. Personally speaking.
I don't know if you can go serious with He-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, even the cartoon series is pretty cringy.
Yeah.
Corny.
Yeah.
Oh, so bad.
Like The Office Michael Scott cringeworthy? No?
Worse.
Worse?
Yeah.
Wow. That has to be way cringy.
Well, if you didn't watch it as a kid, you'll just see it as a bad cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty rough to watch as an adult.
Yeah. Oh, A-Team was pretty rough to watch, too. The TV show. I'm sorry, man. It's a good show, but it's a little...
That was me nostril flaring at Dave.
We're recording this.
It's a little tough.
I'm the only one who's looked at the camera the whole night.
Yeah, he did the...
Is there anything else you guys want to bring up about He-Man?
Would you want a sequel made in '89?
Yes.
Oh, in '89?
In 89,
Oh, yeah,
yes.
that would have been
Because we're all
okay.
talking about reboots now. But would you have wanted a sequel made back then?
I think now, I would have wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
Like watching it and then seeing it, like
Princess of Power.
Yeah, it would have been
something.
interesting to watch. It would have been way interesting to watch now.
So, let me say one criticism of it. This is what makes it such an '80s movie: is everything takes place on Earth.
Most of it takes place on Earth because you have some in Eternia.
The whole movie should have been on Eternia.
Right. Yeah, why are you involving Earth?
It's...
I get the whole... The whole... what is it?
The cosmic key.
It's not a time travel, right?
No,
it's
a
keyboard.
gateway. It's
Yeah.
a gateway.
to anywhere.
It's a keyhole?
It's a keyboard.
Oh.
Sorry, it's just
Yes.
it's just the key.
Synthesizer,
Yes,
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
which goes into it making more of an 80s movie.
Mm-hmm.
And in '89, it would have been perfect to make another one.
Yeah.
But because they lost money on it, it's like no way.
No, there was no way there was.
Yeah. No way. No
They
way.
should have had a Universal experience
He-Man.
at Universal Studios. Maybe they had some guy walking around in skivvies and
But a foam suit.
Do you think they would do a Universal He-Man now? Like just kind of like a little silly.
what?
I don't know.
Some
just
dude
someone-
walking around?
Yeah.
If I was in charge of that, I would definitely have that happen. And you'd be like, who's that?
Yeah.
What the heck?
They just take a picture.
Huh? Why is this guy naked? Basically.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem right.
All right. Just wondering about that.
I did think the costume was pretty spot on to the cartoon.
Yeah.
I mean, the cape was the only thing that was off because he doesn't wear a cape in the cartoon.
Not really, no. It's
But it fit with the movie.
yeah.
All right.
Lols.
So overall,
And-
we would all like to see a sequel in '89.
In
We'd all
89
like a
for sure.
reboot now.
Yeah.
Sure. Thumbs up.
If it happens, yeah.
Spend some money, Hollywood. Would you?
Yeah, do it.
We'll see if they do that.
I'm okay if you do.
It's okay by me. You have my permission.
All right. Thank you for joining. Please rate, subscribe, and leave a comment of what you thought of the podcast or what you think of He-Man Masters of the Universe. Do you agree with us or do you don't think they should? Well, thank you and have a good day.